Hey guys, Rage here. We got a double feature battle against the TIME KING150 and Mukubird from YouTube. It's kind of a welcome back to YouTube video since I haven't posted a video in a while. So let's get started, and I'm sorry if my voice is cracking. I don't really feel well right now. So I lead off with my Breloom to try and get the early sweep in. He starts off with his Yuxi. I Spore and he falls asleep, obviously. So he switches to his Duff Snarl, and then I Swords Dance. Next turn, I Seed Bomb, and it doesn't KO, which made me sad face. He tries to sub up, but he doesn't because he didn't have enough HP. Next, he predicts my attack and Sucker Punches, which I thought was kind of weird because you don't normally see Sucker Punch on Duff Snarls, or at least I don't. So next I Seed Bomb and get Crit Hacks, which I could have used last turn, but with my luck, of course, I don't get it. So next comes in his Hitmontop and he Fake Outs. So next I Sword Dance, thinking that I can take whatever I can dish out, but of course I can't. Oh, I think I died because it had Life Orb. So my Breloom dies, and then I go to my Snarf, and then he thwarts me yet again with Sucker Punch. Now I gotta give this guy credit. He thinks of movesets with every Pokemon that he looks at. I mean, he'll look at a Pokemon and make a moveset, and no matter how ridiculous it may sound, he'll make it work somehow. So anyway, back to the battle. So my Snarf dies, and I go to my Suicune. I predicted the switch in Calm Mind. Now I don't really know what he was doing here. Maybe it was a misclick when he switched out or something like that. So yeah, he switches out again, and I Calm Mind. So yeah, he switches to his Porygon Z and Nasty Plots while I Surf. So Surf doesn't KO, and then his Bataya Berry activates, which gives him +4 special attack. He Hyper Beams next and completely destroys me. And then I was like, oh no, you killed my epic win Suicune. So now I know I can get an easy kill no matter what I switch into, so I go to my Umbreon and Payback. So then he goes to his Hitmontop, and then I try to stall out the best I can, but it doesn't really work out for me in the end. So yeah, I'm gonna skip through this part. The only thing that you really need to know is that my Umbreon dies. So yeah, now I go into my brand new Salamence, properly named Salamence since it's green. So his Hitmontop takes the Intimidate like a monster, and then I predict the switch and Dragon Dance. So his Sleeping Yuxi comes in, and I Dragon Dance again as it switches out. So in comes his Gyarados, and I take the Intimidate like a monster as well. So I Outrage and it KOs. So now I want you guys to know that me and King had 4 battles, we each won 2. So right here, right now, I'm challenging you, King, to a tiebreaker. Winner takes all. So yeah, he brings out his Hitmontop and uses Fake Out. Next turn he predicts an attack, so he Sucker Punches, but I don't attack, I use Dragon Dance. So after that he was like, wow, fail. So he switches to his Heatran, and I predict that, so I Dragon Dance once more. So yeah, now after all of that, I Earthquake and get a 1-hit KO. So yeah, after all that happens, he switches to his Sleeping Yuxi, and then I attempt a Fire Fang, which misses, and then he Psychics, which does a lot of damage. Oh, did I say a lot of damage? I meant absolutely nothing. So yeah, next turn I Fire Fang, and it doesn't KO, which kind of surprised me, so then he uses Yawn. So next turn I Outrage and KOs. And at that point he was like, "Aw, why did you switch out?" And then I was like, "Because I'm to Windsors." And then he was like, "Yeah, that's true." And then I was like, "Aw, thanks." Only in a slightly less gay tone. So then he goes to his Hitmontop, and then Mach Punches. I mean, how many priority moves can you put on one Pokemon? So yeah, anyway, he pretty much destroys himself with Life Orb damage. Good game, King. I'm gonna take a short break before the next battle starts. Enjoy the music.
spinning my head right
Alright guys, I'm back. Now we got a battle against a really good battler, Mukubird from YouTube. So I start off with my Metagross and he starts off with his Crobat. He predicts my Stealth Rock, so he taunts. I couldn't really do anything here, so I switch out to my Heat Run and then sub, as his Hypnosis misses twice in a row, which kinda sucked. So he U-turns, which doesn't break the sub, and then he switches to his Tentacruel as I Fire Blast it and doesn't do anything. So yeah, I Fire Blast, does nothing, then we both get HP back from leftovers and Black Sludge. I wanted to make use of my sub, so I stayed in an Earth Power rather than switch out. So my Earth Power does a little more than double than what Fire Blast did. He surfs and breaks my sub, and the next turn I switch out to, I think, my Scizor. No, I switched to my Metagross. I tried to do that to scare it away with Earthquake, but evidently this thing doesn't have Earthquake. But luckily he doesn't know that, or he might now, but still. So he switches out and I Stealth Rock. And then I switch back to my Heat Ran, thinking he would Will-O-Wisp or Flamethrower, but he doesn't. He T-Bolts, which doesn't really do much. And I Fire Blast as he switches to his Drapion. I was kind of surprised how that didn't KO, but then I remembered that it was just neutral rather than super effective. I predicted the next switch in sub up. Next I outspeed is Gyarados and Toxic. I take the Intimidate like a monster. The other stuff that I said before happens, and then he breaks my sub with Waterfall. Oh yeah, before I continue, a shout out to Mudquaza, aka Mudday, because he's cool. So yeah, he breaks my sub with Waterfall, and then I switch to my Suicune, who takes a Waterfall like a monster. Oh yeah, shout out to Muku as well, since this is our battle. So yeah, he predicted a Calm Mind, so he taunts, but I out-predicted his prediction, so I Hidden Power Electric prediction. This thing is pretty bulky, so I didn't really expect it to KO, but it still did a lot of damage. Oh, and Poison takes it out. I kind of forgot about this part, so that's fail on my part. I predicted a switch to Tentacruel, but instead he rests, and my HP Electric doesn't do anything. After that failure, I switch out to my Comet, and I kind of figured it was a sleep-talking Drapion, so it sleep talks and I get lucky as it uses Rest again. So yeah, next I Earthquake, and it doesn't KO, which kind of surprised me. Well, it was bulky enough to take the Fire Blast from my Heatran, so I guess that makes it okay. So yeah, it Sleep Talks again and then gets Rest. I'm actually getting pretty lucky this battle. So next I predicted a switch to Weezing, which he doesn't do. He goes to Crobat, which is perfectly fine because you all know that my Reginiggas has Ice Punch. Also, to reiterate, I am not a racist. I have a colored TV. So there. So next I predict the taunt and use Ice Punch. Wow, that was awesome. I did not intend that to happen as it happens. So my Ice Punch doesn't kill, which is fine as well. Next turn he switches to Weezing and I Ice Punch again, and then I get Freeze Hex. And then right after that he runs. I don't know why he ran, but whatever. I'm sorry for the anticlimactic battle, but whatever. Good game, Muku. We need to finish this battle some other time. That's about it for me, guys. Later.